All right, we're live. We got a great guest today. We gotta set this up real quick, Ryan. We gotta share this to my personal page. Let's see. And then we'll get going. Sounds good. Look at that. There we are. Bam. And welcome to the Super Terb Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Terb, your local real estate expert with the Terb Group, Coldwell Banker, HPW, aka Super Terb, aka Coach Terb. But I'm back for your first podcast of 2023. I hope everybody out there has a happy new year. Don't laugh, Ryan. I got Ryan Koziol. Yep, in my studio today. I'm pumped to have him, good friend of mine, and I'm going to tell about his companies. We have Tailored Closet. Now it says of Raleigh-Durham, but I know it. You've done this in other places too, so we'll get into that, as well as Premier Garage. Guys, in my market, or not my market, in my business, I have clients all the time that want to have customized closets. They want to have nice garages, organization, epoxy floors. Ryan right here is the man. Tailored Closet and Premier Garage is your go-to for all of that. So I'm really excited to have him in on the Super Tour podcast today, mainly also to talk about how he got started, why he loves what he does, what he provides. So I'm really excited to have you. So thanks for being here. Say what's up.
Thanks for having me.
All right. And before we get started, Ryan, what I like to do is a little real estate update for all my people out there. It's 2023, guys. And what we are seeing is a little bit of craziness. If you're thinking about buying the first quarter, it's it. We actually sold 3 homes last week. 3 homes of all buyers that we've been talking to since the third and fourth quarter, where many buyers stepped on the sideline, the rates going up, just kind of checking things out. But what we're seeing upon us over the next 3 to 6 months is leases are going to be coming to an end and people are going to elect to buy versus paying rent. And guys, do not wait. I really believe the first quarter is the time for you to buy. Even last weekend, we had multiple offers because even though you hear it on the media, you hear it on the news, hear it in the Raleigh-Durham, the Triangle area, our market is still very strong and our inventory is still under a 2-month supply. So what does that mean? High demand, low supply means multiple offers. So if you're all wanting to get into the buying game, you want to get a game plan together, please reach out to me. We'd be honored to help you do so. Again, a lot of my clients now, the rate is just the rate. There's ways around to be able to either buy down the rate or understand over the next 12, maybe 18 months, understand that the rates are going to be coming down. At least that's what Fannie Mae is projecting to where then you can refinance later. So that is it. We're excited for 2023. I'm going to take a quick break, and I'm coming back on the other side with Ryan Koziol. I got it. And welcome back to the Super Terb Podcast. Again, I'm your host, Michael Terb, your local real estate expert with the Terb Group, Coldwell Banker, HPW, a.k.a. Super Terb. And I have Ryan sitting next to me. Say what's up.
What's up?
All right, out there, Ryan. Tell everybody again, I've said your name like 37 times. What's your name and where you're from?
My name's Ryan Koziol, and I'm actually from Buffalo, New York. Recently relocated to Raleigh.
Bills Mafia.
Yes, Bills Mafia.
Bills Mafia.
Yes.
Awesome. So Tailored Closet, Premier Garage. Tell everyone more, listening more about those companies in your business.
Sure. Yeah. So we specialize in-home organization systems. So custom closets, pantries, entertainment centers, laundry rooms, anything that you could think of that pertains to organization systems within the house. And then outside of that, we also do custom garages as well. So garage cabinetry, motorized lifts, bike lifts, and epoxy floor coatings.
Now, are they separate companies or is it all in one?
Yes.
Yeah, they're both. They're separate entities, but I mean, you do both.
Yes.
You own both.
Yep.
When did you become an owner?
In 2019.
Okay.
Yes.
So what did you do prior?
I actually did design consulting for basically a remodeling company. So I did independent consulting for them, and then eventually made the transition into owning my own business.
So were you working with the company itself?
I was not. No,
you weren't. Okay, this was separate.
Yep.
Was it the same premise as far as closets and things like that?
So it was actually really different in New York, much different than here. Almost every house has a basement, and so I was working primarily for a basement remodeling company.
Okay.
And doing design for basement refinishing services.
So do you still have your company? Do you still work in New York, or is it primarily here now in the Triangle?
It's primarily here now for very special circumstances like professional athletes. We do kind of consider those type of projects, but we've completely relocated here full time, and this is our primary focus.
We're excited to have you, man.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
But like I said before, I can't tell you about clients will either go into a home, even an older home, or some people they want to do several variations, and now we've got the guy to say, hey, look, this is it. We can do what you got to do here. So when you decided to become an owner in 2019, what was that decision? Was I'm finally going to do this?
Yeah, I think for me, it was just, I was really comfortable with what I was doing, and there was a lot of independence with doing what I was doing. But I think for me, it was about the challenge of stepping out of my comfort zone and building something from the ground floor, and just kind of challenging myself in that way.
And because you bring up a great point, because one reason I started the Super Terb podcast was to talk to local business owners, entrepreneurs, obviously talk to different professions. But the biggest thing with entrepreneur is what made you take that step, and then what was probably your biggest hurdle when doing so?
So I always knew that I wanted to start my own business, and so this kind of stems back quite a while, and so it was really just a matter of timing, right? And so I think for me, I came across the opportunity, and it kind of lined up with everything that was related to my experience professionally, as well as my educational background, being a marketing background. And so for me, all the stars just kind of aligned with this specific franchise, and it just made sense for me to do that.
Now, with your current business now, how many are on staff, or how many employees do you have?
Yeah, so we just relocated to the Raleigh area only a couple months ago. So really, it's just me and my brother-in-law, who's basically my right-hand man, and he is basically operational support at a larger scale. So as we grow the business here, that will be his role, is to kind of oversee all of the operational support. So right now we're very small, just started the business. We actually just went through a brand change. And so we were originally Tailored Living of Greater Buffalo. And then in addition to the transition geographically, the franchise actually decided to market the businesses as two separate entities. And so that just happened in December. And so we're basically starting the new year from the ground floor and building it from scratch.
I gotcha. Do you know a guy named Chad by chance?
I don't.
I don't know. We got a comment here.
I know.
Is Sam the guy or not? But Chad, I think he may be. Oh, you're the guy. So people are watching this on YouTube. So so when people reach out to you, let's say a closet, for example, they want to customize that. Is it pretty much a blank canvas, or do you offer different things that they have to do, or how does that work?
Sure. Yeah. So the initial, the start of the process is the client will request a consultation, and basically as the owner, I'm extremely involved on the design level, and so basically I'm coming out and taking some measurements and then talking through what some of the goals of the spaces are, as well as the aesthetics of the space. So really finding out the whole idea behind doing something like this in your home is it's got to be specific to your items, right? And so the whole idea is that really I'm coming in and I'm tailoring it specifically to the amount of shoes you have, the amount of dresses your wife has, and really designing a solution based off of that. So once I get all my measurements, what I'll do is come up with a couple different options, A, B, and C. A might be a little bit more cost effective, but it checks all the boxes as far as functionality. Still a massive upgrade, from the wire rack that's standard in most houses. And then option B might have some bells and whistles. So pull out hamper, ironing board. And then basically all of my clients will come out to the showroom in Apex, and I could review the 3D design right with them there.
And I've been to the studio, guys. Actually, you're just getting started.
Yeah.
When I saw it, it's awesome because you can touch, feel, you see everything. Yeah. I mean, we're going to need something done pretty soon in our closet. Now, as far as, I guess, price ranges, I guess it's pretty much minimal to as much as they want to spend, sure, right? I mean, it's because you have different options, upgrades, things like that.
Yeah. So the nice thing is that we could work with any budget, but aside from that, really, the client is dictating the price in the regard that they have the ability to decide what it is that they're looking for. Some clients prefer to have a lot of bells and whistles like LED lighting, and they want everything. And then some clients just want the functionality of the space. And so really the solutions that I offer will give you different ranges, and ultimately it's all interactive in the regard that you could basically decide you like this, but maybe you don't want to invest the additional budget, and so we can step it down to something a little bit more.
So you can work with it. Yeah, I love it. So Reginald, he's a great agent and with Coldwell Banker as well. So he's got a question for you. If you have a warranty, what kind do you have them offer?
So we do. Thanks for asking. Thanks for tuning in. So we actually offer a lifetime warranty on everything we do. So it's all industrial grade products, and everything is warranted.
That's awesome. In regards to, let's say you go to your consultation, you get other designs or whatever their wish list is. What's basically the turnaround time? I know the garages are probably a little faster as far as flooring, but it depends on what you're doing in the garage. But as far as the closet goes.
Sure. Yeah. So the average turnaround time, I'm basically what I'm doing is submitting an order, and then I have a woodcutter out of Indianapolis that ships everything to us on a pallet, and so the turnaround time is about 4 to 6 weeks to get the items, and then most installs, I would say, fall within the 1 to 3 day range.
Okay.
And that's start to finish. There's no, projects lingering for 3 weeks or a month, or us coming back 6 months later. Everything is start to finish 1 to 3 days usually.
That's quick. And as far as the garages go, what do you commonly see there? Is more of the epoxy flooring, or does people have different things that you see?
So epoxy flooring has really grown.
And what's the benefit of that?
So the benefit of doing an epoxy floor coating is the aesthetics of it. It doesn't matter if you have fancy cabinets. You don't have to have the walls painted. If you just coat the floor in there, it makes a significant difference as far as the aesthetic of it. So a lot of people are doing it for that purpose, just to clean it up. The second thing is it's really easy to clean. And what a lot of homeowners don't realize is it's actually really good as far as the longevity, because concrete's nature is it's going to crack. It's going to have pitting. And so really what we're doing is we're applying a product and a service that basically is going to prolong the lifetime of that.
Yeah, so, I know you just moved in and you already sent us what you did. That's awesome.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
So tell everybody out there why you love what you do. Like, tell me, maybe your passion or what your why is.
So for me, I think, there's so many things in a homeowner's house that they could do, upgrades, and also just in life, people have so many things that add so much value. And I think people don't often see something like this as life-changing. But for me, I've seen the clients that have called me, and I've come for a consultation, and they're in tears because they're just so frantic about their space, and they're starting off every day in this chaotic way because they can't find stuff, or stuff isn't where it's supposed to be. And so for me, the reward is seeing that, and then designing a solution and seeing the finished product from start to finish is really rewarding. And we've had plenty of customers that are in tears by the end of it because they're just so ecstatic with, with the finished product.
Yeah, plus you're bringing value to their home.
Yes.
When hopefully they call me to sell
it,
right? That brings value.
Yeah, I've got a clause in my contracts that say if you sell the house, you must list with Michael Church.
I like it. I like that. It's a good clause.
Yeah.
Let's see. I was going to ask you. I got 2 other questions here, but I'll say this. So what separates you guys? Tailored Closet, Premier Garage from, say, your competitors?
Sure. Yeah. And it's just like any other service that's out there. Pool company, kitchen company. There's dozens of them, and that's not new to the marketplace at all. What's really unique about us is the first thing is, as the owner, I'm really involved in everything that happens. So I still do all the design work, and I'm really involved in the business. The second thing is we really pride ourselves on responsiveness and also the quality of work. So the contractors in general get a really bad name, as you probably know, because there's a lot of guys that just don't do the right things, or they just don't do great work. And so for me, I'm just the type of guy that I don't sleep well at night if I know that we didn't do a good job or somebody's dissatisfied. And so for me, I really pride myself on us doing a really good job for the clients, and then also just giving them a top tier experience.
It's we're very similar in that regard.
Yeah.
Customer service and making sure you deliver on what you say. And I can say that's what you do. As far as geographics, how far would you go for an install? I know your office, your studio's in Apex. Sure. I know you've been to Wake Forest, but where's your parameters?
Yeah, so being a little bit newer to the area, it's hard to really nail down specifics, but the best way I could explain it is if you were to take a dot and put it on the center of Raleigh, if you go about an hour in every direction, that would basically cover our
It's like our range. Yeah. That's cool. All right, this is a cool question. What's the coolest install or story you can share?
So we were, prior to leaving Buffalo, we were recently contracted to do all the closets for Josh Allen, the house that he's building in Buffalo. And so it was really the timing of it was interesting because that was the last thing that we did before we relocated. And it was a great opportunity, a great experience, and something I could take with me forever. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
How was Josh?
He's a nice guy,
cool guy.
Really humble, really down to earth, and given the contract that he signed, you would not think that he would be as careful with his money as he was. So it was really interesting for me to see that because a lot of these athletes, they've got all the money in the world and they're not worried about a few $1,000s here or there. And to see somebody on that level financially, professionally, to still have that humbleness was really, it was really awesome to see. And it just, made me respect him a lot more.
That's awesome. All right, good. Here's a great question for you. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
So in 5 years, I see this expanding. I'm already seeing a really high demand for what we do. And so I see this expanding to a pretty large operation with, probably 20 to 40 employees.
All right. Yeah, I can see that. So tell everybody listening, of course, I'm going to post it too, how to get in touch with you before we get to my rapid questions, as far as website, phone number, whatever you'd like to do to share on the podcast. Of course, like I said, I'll provide links and what have you so people can go directly to you.
Sure. Yeah. The easiest thing is going to be to just send an email, or Terb will also list the business phone numbers, whatever is most convenient. So phone call is fine. You could even text and say, I'm interested in a closet, and we'll just set up days and times for me to come out and take a look at it. And then also he will provide some links to my website, and you can feel free to browse around and
pretty cool. All right. You ready for some rapid questions? Yeah, we're ready for this.
Sure.
This is fun stuff here. Okay. All right. Favorite food?
Steak.
Favorite restaurant? Have you found a favorite restaurant locally yet?
It's hard to say being new to the area, but I will say I have a couple go-tos that me and my brother-in-law frequented, not necessarily in person, but a lot of Uber Eats. I'm an Uber Eats guy.
I am too.
Too. I may be mispronouncing this, so if the restaurant's listening, I apologize. Los Tres Maguey's, they're in Fuquay, and I believe they're also in Holly Springs. My mom is actually in town from Buffalo as we speak, and she's pretty particular when it comes to food. She loves hamburgers, and she usually has something to say about her food. And she found a place. It's called My Way Tavern in Holly Springs, and is it good? I love it, and she loves it too.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, and they've got a location in Raleigh, I believe, as well.
Yeah, definitely like to support local too, so I'm gonna check that out. So, and the favorite band?
Oh, geez, it's tough to say. I'm a country guy, so I really like Old Dominion.
There you go.
So
did not know you were a country guy.
I am. In my high school years, I actually listened to a lot of, believe it or not, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin. But majority of what I listen to is country.
I love it. If you do drink, favorite cocktail?
I don't drink a ton. If I do, it's usually like either a rum and Coke I'll have, or a vodka tonic, but usually a vodka tonic or vodka cranberry. Not a huge beer guy. I know that's not super popular to say, but
I had to cut back on my beer. I have a 60-day note. I'm trying to lose a few pounds right now. Okay. So Grubhub's actually put out a search for me because I haven't ordered it in about 15 days. They're like, what happened to Terb, right? Yeah. So anyway, favorite sports team. We already know this, but go ahead and say it again.
Yep, Bills.
So you like all sports though? Is it football?
I do. Yeah,
so is it all Buffalo? So you got the Sabres?
Yep, Sabres. Big Sabres fan as well.
Baseball?
Baseball, I used to follow baseball a lot more than I do now. There's so many games in the season.
Yeah.
And even hockey, I'm guilty of kind of, on and off watching it because there's just so many games and it's tough to keep up with.
The season really starts if you win the playoffs happen, How about basketball?
I watch college basketball throughout the year a little bit, and then I always watch March Madness, obviously. NBA, I really haven't followed in a long time. I might catch a game here or there.
Yeah. But. Similar to hockey. Now, me, you, and DJ, we're going to go to a Canes game, and then we got to get you to Cameron Indoor. You got to go to a
Yeah.
game. You got to see that.
Yeah, I'm a little. So the landlord of my commercial space in Apex, he actually has season tickets for Duke, and
Really?
he offered me tickets.
At
Now,
Cameron?
yeah.
Oh my God, that's like gold.
Well, listen to this. So he offered me tickets to a game, and I forgot who they were playing. But long story short, he basically said it's not going to be that great of a game. It's probably going to be a blowout because the team that they were playing were.
It's non-conference. Yeah.
So I was talking to Rob Ward,
Yeah.
as you probably know, and we've stayed in touch as well. And I was just telling him about the chance to go to the Duke game, and he said, "Oh, I hope you went, right?" And I said, "No, I didn't." Why? And he said, "I can't believe you turned down tickets." And to me, as a sports fan, just in general, there's never really been a sports event that's been outside of reach as far as being able to attend it. And so I didn't realize the rarity of attending a game.
Yeah,
at Cameron.
There's only 9,000 people in there, and it's like the Mecca. Granted, I'm a Dookie. Granted, I work with we're all basketball fans. You got to be careful that people ask you tread lightly and hope you answer correctly.
Sure.
My son was funny because a few years ago he's like, "Dad, why can't we like both?" Meaning Duke and Carolina.
Okay.
And like you just can't do that. And we can all like state. State's kind of like
Sure.
is like Switzerland. But yeah, you got to pick one. But yeah, Duke it's amazing. I was actually able to take my dad to the Duke Carolina game March 7th of 2020. It's kind of his bucket list. He loves Duke. Surprised him. Carolina wasn't doing great that year, so the tickets were at least could get in. And if you would have told me, 7 to 10 days later we would have been all shut down, I'd have been like, "You're crazy." So,
yeah.
But it was cool to experience at Duke Carolina in person.
I mean, it sounds like it's a pretty coveted thing. So,
what do you like doing when you're not working?
Big golf guy. Love to golf. I'm the guy that has all the gadgets. I've got a golf simulator, and so you might, peek through my living room window and see me swinging a golf club full speed in my living room. I've got all
pretty good.
I mean, I guess that's relative.
What's your handicap?
I usually am about around a 9, I think.
That's good.
Yeah. So last year I ended. It's tough to say because we transitioned from New York, where the golfing was much different grass, different conditions, and then transitioned down to here, and I struggled quite a bit. A, because I hadn't played, and B, the grass is way different. So when you hit a golf ball, the grass here grabs a lot more. So it's a much different.
Is it bent greens up in Buffalo, or is it more Bermuda?
It's I believe it's more bent greens.
Okay, that's good.
But it's a complete. I mean, your club will, when you're doing those chip shots around the green, your club will actually kind of glide through that a lot more. And here, it's just
more.
It twists the club face. And
if you haven't been yet, I know you're really busy, but you got to get to Pinehurst. You got to go play. Go do a weekend down there.
Yeah.
My dad and I did a father-son weekend down there, and then actually, the only time in my life I've had a caddy. We played number 2. This was back in 2008. It was cool being able to play number 2. Of course, that's where Payne Stewart won.
Yeah.
Very cool. And having a caddy, I'm like, the guys cleaning the balls, telling exactly where it is, but it was a great time. Let's see, best place you visited.
Oh gosh. I think probably Switzerland was one of the coolest experiences. I did like the steepest cog ride in the world. It's literally just straight down. And it's really scary, but it was just a really cool experience. And then I also did paragliding there. Basically, they take you like to the top of the Swiss Alps. And
how long was this?
2017.
Very cool.
And then I've got a couple friends that live in Hawaii, and so I've been lucky enough to go there.
We're going in June
4 or 5 times, and so Oahu is really cool, and it's it's kind of like a slam dunk vacation every time.
Yeah, I've taken family. We're going Oahu and Maui, so it's gonna be a good time. Where's a place you haven't been but you want to go?
It's kind of tough to say. I'd say probably London. I've always wanted to go to London. Really more international travel is, I've been to a bunch of different places within the States, but I think doing something different internationally would be
very cool. Yeah, we went to London. First time been to London was 2019 for the Panthers-Bucks game.
Okay, that's cool.
That was really cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
So the Bills go. That's when you that. Now they're going to. But we went. My dad and my buddy went, and we flew in on a Wednesday. We took the red eye on Wednesday, got it Thursday, and then came home Tuesday, and it was just I'm a history major, so it was unbelievable. I drank a lot of Guinness that weekend.
I believe.
And we won with Kyle Allen, but we won.
Right.
All right, dinner with 2 people, either dead or alive. See, those are good questions.
I gotta say, Tiger Woods has to be one of them.
Yeah.
Just being a huge golf guy. I'd say you, but we had dinner like a few weeks ago. So, I don't really need to put that on my.
Yeah, you've already done that.
Just being a huge golf guy like I am, I'd say probably Rory McIlroy
And Tiger.
That
would be a good. Hey, that'd be some good conversation. I bet.
Off
the record.
Yeah.
They'd have a good time. All right, this is a question I asked everybody on the Super Terb podcast: if and when we'll win. It gets retired. I say this because I can go back and I can make a little book.
Okay.
Best advice you've ever received and by who?
That's kind of tough.
I love hearing all the answers.
Yeah, it's tough, but you got me racking my brain a little bit here. I think generically it's hard to latch on to one specific piece of advice, but I think throughout my life experience, just really whether it was spoken or just through experiences, I think the biggest life valuable lesson would be, just doing the right thing. And then also, just working hard. I really think, and I've seen that throughout my life with different people, my mom, really hard worker, everybody that I've really known and associated myself with has been like that. And so I think, even if it wasn't verbally someone giving me advice, I think just seeing that was really,
can't go wrong.
Yeah.
No, same here. I get to watch my mom work every day. My dad, mine was Finnish. It was from high school coach.
Yeah.
Depending on what you're doing, even when I'm coaching my son or basketball team, if they don't make a layup, we finish. You start a job, you finish it. And it's big for me, but it's awesome to hear everybody. I have so many different answers, so it's really cool to hear.
You know what? I forgot before we move on. The best advice I've ever gotten was who you work with matters.
It does. That's it.
And it came from this guy.
That's good. Who you work with matters. Yeah. Man, I appreciate you coming on, brother.
This has
been fun.
Here.
Guys, Ryan, I'm telling you, if you need anything with your, like I said, customized closets, garage, this is the guy. Make sure, reach out to me. We'll make sure 2023, we got a lot of installs for you, brother.
Yeah, appreciate that.
But if you're listening, guys, thanks so much for tuning in to the Super Terb podcast. It's going to be, can't believe this is episode 61. Try to do 2 a month. If you're listening out there, you're watching, and you want to come on the Super Terb podcast, talk about your story, maybe your business. That's what I started this for. Please reach out to me. We would love to have you on. As usual, please subscribe, like in the comments. Would love to have you as, so Chad, I know who Chad is, by the way.
Good.
Chad we were managers together for the Charlotte 49er basketball team. He was in my wedding.
Okay.
Great guy. Lives a little, we got to see each other more, Chad, than, so he's watching on YouTube live right now.
Okay.
You're probably at work. He's probably at work watching on YouTube.
Okay.
So, guys, well, anyway, appreciate everybody tuning in. Again, it's Michael Turbot, your local real estate expert with the Ida Timber Group, Cole Banger, HPW, a.k.a. Super Terb, a.k.a. Coach Terb. Hope you guys have a phenomenal week. And as Ryan said, remember, who you work with matters. See you next time.